What's up, YouTube? Coming at you from Kingsville, I believe it's called, Ohio. It's been a day, an interesting, annoying day. Well, you know, it is what it is. I started my day off headed to Cleveland. I was just outside Cleveland in Lottie Dottie, Ohio. An hour to get to my pickup. Had to be there at 7. I always try to get to a place or shoot for an hour early. That way, you know, hopefully I can get in the door earlier. And usually an hour is a good reference point, I guess. I don't know. The lighting's terrible. That's worse. Jeez. Whatever. There's my lights. And there it is. Alright, that should be better lighting. Yeah. So I'm on my way, and I'm thinking, this little bakery, whatever place I'm going to, quite possibly doesn't open until 7. I'm taking my boots off, and it's all wet everywhere because there's snow outside, so I can't put my feet down. I'm sorry. I tried to do this video earlier, and it was 20 minutes, and whatever, yeah, I got to the place at like 5 after 6, and sure enough, nobody goes to shipping until 7. Gets into shipping until 7. So, I had to sit and wait. Not a huge deal. Bit of a hassle, but you know, that's life, that's trucking. So I get there, I get loaded. They load me with government cheese. This is on 92nd Street in Cleveland. It's like just outside of what I would consider downtown, like all the big buildings, tight streets, that kind of stuff. 40,000 pounds of government cheese. I leave there, and I need to... the way the Qualcomm said it was, shipper is Cleveland, receiver 1 is Erie, receiver 2 is Salina, Kansas, whatever, I don't care, fuck Kansas. So I leave Cleveland to go to Erie. To do that, I get on 90 East. I try to get on 90 East. The entrance to 90 East that I was heading was closed. And then, due to a mixture of me trying to follow street signs and the GPS, I end up driving all through zigzagging downtown Cleveland. I'm not sure how that rates as far as, you know, the big cities or anything like that. But it sucked. But I guess it's probably a good experience for a rookie. It wasn't horrible. You know, obviously it wasn't New York or one of those kind of cities. But it was, you know, it was a downtown city. There's big buildings, there's people crossing the streets, and there's snow like piled on the side of the road, which means there's no like side shoulder, so cars were parked all over. It was crazy. I kept my head together, you know, I didn't let it stress me out. I was just like, alright, here I am, now I gotta get out of there. And eventually I did. Only one close call where a couple cars had to back up and kind of swerve out of my way, because that street was crazy tight. You know, no harm, no foul. I made it out of there, got on 90, headed east, 2 hours to Erie. 1 hour in, I stopped to get fuel, which is good because I was at a quarter of a tank. Probably the lowest I've been maybe ever. Definitely as a solo driver, it's the lowest I've been. Stop, get fuel, then drive another hour, get to Erie. Stop at my stop, not a huge pain to get into or anything. Some bakery, baked goods place. I pull in, flip the CB to channel 6 or whatever the sign said. Talked to a guy inside, and he said that I was fine parked where I was, and I could come in and he would take care of whatever he had to take care of. I don't remember exactly what he said, but whatever he did say sounded kind of odd. But every place is different, you know. Like there's no like set way of doing things when you get to shippers and receivers. Every place is different. I mean, Walmarts are kind of the same, but I mean, you stop at 3 different stops, you're going to have 3 different routines you have to do. There's not like a protocol or whatever, which is annoying. Whatever. So I go in, talk to this guy, and what he can't figure out and what I can't figure out, and what I'm sure the other 4 drivers that had done the same thing can't figure out, was I had to drive all the way to Erie, 2 hours, just to have the seal broken and another seal put on the truck and a paper signed. No pallets moved, nothing added, removed, nothing looked at and verified, nothing. The seal was cut off and was reapplied, a paper was signed, he kept a copy, and I was on my way. 2 hours backwards for that. I got paid for it, you know, it was part of my mileage, so, you know, it is what it is, but it just kind of seems friggin' ridiculous because of the government cheese. There's rules or something, I don't know. Just thinking about it just frustrates me, but, you know, me and the dude had a good laugh about it. He doesn't know why they do it that way. He said the other drivers looked just as stunned as I did when they said all they're doing is breaking the seal. But, you know, it is what it is. I wasn't sure. It was 40,000 pounds. It looked like I might be a little heavy on my drives. My right way in my truck is off, and I can't get anything to try and get the needle where it needs to be. So I just kind of eyeball it. And having seen it enough, I think I got a good idea of it. But it looked like I might be a little heavy on my drives on the way up there. I was just hoping I didn't cross the scale. So before I left that place in Erie, I slide the tandems forward a hole from 9 to 8, taking a little more weight off the drives, which should be fine. I shouldn't have any problems as far as weight. I guess it's a risk I'm taking not actually weighing it, but looking at the weight on my drives and the weight compared to like the weights I've had in the past, you know, I think it's something I'm willing to risk, and I guess that takes some confidence because that's, you know, a $500, $1,000 ticket or whatever. But you know, I'm a boss. The cold makes me cough, so it screws up my lungs. So I slide my tandems. When I'm leaving, I press my brake pedal and I hear air hissing out. That's could be a problem, I'm not sure. So I keep going, get to the stoplight, press the brakes. I hear the air hissing out every time I push the brakes. And my gauges were fine, like I wasn't losing a lot of pressure. The brakes worked. You know, like physically I didn't feel anything wrong with the truck. I didn't see anything wrong. I just heard that hiss when I pressed the brake pedal. And I didn't like that. So when I'm getting on the on-ramp back on the 90 West, I pull off to the side on the on-ramp. I send a message to Road Assist. I check my brakes. I pump them. I trying some things, and I find out that when I have my trailer brakes released and I press the service brake, I hear air hissing from somewhere outside the truck behind me because I have my window cracked. I got out, I walked around the truck. When I had that brake chamber problem, and I got out, walked around, I could hear it. I could go back there and I could feel it. So I went and walked around the trailer, didn't see anything wrong. Road Assist gets back to me saying with a couple things that it could be, and go to a TA back in the shop. And what really killed me on this was I only had 6 hours, I think 6 hours of drive time when I got to Erie. So depending on how long they took to load or unload me, I might not have a lot of time to actually, get back. I wanted to get past Columbus, and that would be like 3 hours or so, 3.5, 4 hours. No, probably more than that. I don't know. But I wanted to get as far as I could, obviously, because from Erie to Kansas, where I have to go, it's just under 1,100 miles. So I get to Erie, find out that it's pretty much cut and run. I still have 6 hours on my clock. I can chop another 300 miles out. And now they're sending me back to the shop, where I'm going to have to sit and wait, which I did sit and wait, and it sucked. So now here I am with like an hour on my clock, just under 2 hours when I actually got out of the shop. It's like, well, I could leave and maybe knock 100 miles out and hope for a place to park somewhere, and then have to start a fresh 10-hour countdown, or I could just stay parked where I already had like 3 hours, 3.5, something like that, hours of my 10-hour break over with, because I went off duty as soon as I got here. So I opted to stay here, and I'm going to go to sleep and start rolling at like 2 or 3 in the morning, or as soon as I can get up. I think 5, as late as 5. I should be fine, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I set an alarm. I don't know. I'll look back into it. But so now, instead of that, I have to drive two long days rather than getting 300 miles done today, and then maybe being able to stop at home tomorrow, because I'm going to be going through my hometown. Instead, I'm not going to have time for any of that. Again, every time I drive through Columbia, I have some kind of problem that screws up all my times, which is frustrating, but, out of my control. And so they put me in the shop. It actually ended up being a glad hand was cracked. My service line glad hand on the trailer, maybe it was a truck, I don't remember, was cracked. Not a huge deal. But, whatever. The silver lining of that is what I also had them fix my wipers. My left side wasn't getting any fluid, which is my driver's side, the side that I actually need the fluid, especially with like the melting snow and all that salt, all that kind of stuff. When that gets wet and another truck passes you, it covers your windshield and it makes it really difficult to see. So having that is nice. This morning when I was sitting, once I got into the door in Cleveland, I rolled my window down and sprayed Windex on my side mirror, and it was like just under 0, and as soon as it all hit, it just frosted right up. So I had to like scrape it off with a paper towel. It was kind of funny. So keep that in mind when it's really cold out, But so the silver lining, if there is any, was I got to get the wipers fixed. And I also sat down in there and got a hot meal, even though it wasn't really that good. I should have got a burger. My fault. But yeah, so that was today. I still can't believe they had you drive 2 hours backwards to just cut a seal and put a new seal on. I don't understand it. And I bought another case of bottled waters. You can see down there. Threw them in my refrigerator or cooler, and the fan was just really loud, and I don't know. When I decided to unplug it, and when I did that, I felt the connection was really hot. So I need to try another one. So I unplugged it because everything in there was frozen. There was only a couple pieces of turkey and some mustard. That's all that I had left in there. I need to get to a Walmart. Maybe I can get to a Walmart when I stop the next night or two. We'll see. But hopefully the thing isn't broken or whatever. I didn't get the warranty. So I don't really know. I just hope. So that's today. I'm cut this off. I don't want to go 20 minutes, and we're getting close. I'm tired. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm not terribly frustrated because that's trucking. You know, as you've seen in my videos, all kinds of crap can happen. I think I've hit some bad luck as far as, you know, things going wrong and that kind of stuff, and I'm just hoping that I get that kind of out of the way and then get some smooth sailing, because this just gets frustrating. I can finally, you know, when you can get ahead and then get slowed down and end up having to push harder than you want to push, it sucks. But, you know, what can you do? So that's what I got for y'all. Hopefully your day is going alright. You know, I had to buy Sirius, or pay for Sirius. I was listening to Howard Stern the other morning. I really started liking that show a lot. His interviews are brilliant. You know, I always kind of thought the dude was a douche, but sometimes he is. But there's enough other stuff on there that's that's pretty entertaining. I was listening to it, and they were doing some giveaway for his birthday, you know, concert party deal. And he asked the dude if that was his final answer, and then it was just silence. So I'm waiting for this guy to answer, and nobody answers. And I'm like, Howard wouldn't let, and no radio DJ would let that much dead air on. So I wait like 30 seconds. I look down, it says something, press any button. I press a button, and like all my presets are gone. Like just everything was like, I lost all the good channels, everything that I actually listened to. So I guess whoever was paying for it before, it either expired or they transferred it or whatever. So I had to break down and buy it. So that's other news. There were other channels, but I mean, it's not the stuff that I liked. It's the stuff that gets wore out all the time. So yeah, $20 a month, which isn't horrible, I guess, especially considering how much I listen to it. So just one thing I got to deal with. But other than that, I cut it off. Y'all have been, hopefully your days are better. All y'all getting ready to go to school or in training or out there on the road or whatever. I hope everything is going well for y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, Facebook group, Twitter, everydaydayproductions@gmail.com, and that's all. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. Stop.